Gather round. It's time for your Real Estate Chalk Talk with the Hittner Group at Coldwell Banker. Listen closely as your coaches discuss the culture, the economy, and the political scene, and how it affects your home and your real estate investments. Real Estate Chalk Talk is where you learn the science of buying and selling real estate and the art of living in your home. Your education begins in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey there, welcome to the program. This is your Real Estate Chalk Talk. 612-627-8000 is the number to call. We'd be happy to have a chat with you about your real estate needs. Of course, that first conversation is all with no cost and absolutely no obligation. Or go on to HittnerGroup.com, Hittner, HittnerGroup.com. One of the oldest real estate websites in the nation, HittnerGroup.com.
How do you measure that, Keith?
Well,
or is that just a statement?
That was a statement of fact.
Okay.
Look at the different various websites and when they were created.
There's a create date on.
Sure, you can check on when it was created, and ours was created in
before the internet was even alive.
Well, it was barely alive.
Barely.
It was right after, because I remember, just as a matter of conversation of interest, when we used to get MLS books, like books.
Right.
Every Monday we get a new set of books downstairs. We had this huge rack of books, and that's how we did market analysis. We go down and page through the pages, and then we got a computer in our office of 90 agents. We had a computer that blinked amber light real slow on and off, dot matrix computer with multiple listing, and it had some of the stuff online. And it was really, that was probably in 1992-ish.
Wow.
And then it was very shortly after that we created HittnerGroup.com. Of course, the first website was basically an electronic billboard.
Mm-hmm.
No real functionality
at
all. And now it's full-blown search and save searches and blog posts and all of that kind of stuff. So
kind of interesting.
Yeah, very how the industry has evolved. And the truth of the matter is, been doing this for almost 35 years. It's pretty much the same business.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's still people, face to face. How we gather information may have changed a little bit.
Do you think it's less work or more work than it used to be? Because from the outside, it would look like it's less work for you now because you don't have to go through, get the book off the shelf, look it up, do this, print off your map quest so that you knew exactly where to go to find the property. Everything just easy now.
It's just different work. Yeah.
So now the challenge is more, how do you get in front of and compete with everyone else to get in front of clients or not?
Yeah.
Where in the past maybe it wasn't as hard? Or
that's true. I mean, I coached a lot of real estate agents over the years, and you can have the best real estate agent, the most knowledgeable, the most market knowledgeable, all of that, competent.
Right.
And it doesn't do any good if they've got no one to work with. And then on the other extreme, you can have the most charismatic person in the world. Everybody wants to work with her, but she's a horrible real estate agent because she's not competent. But she's got a lot of people to work with. So there's always that dynamic, I think, it's like a doctor. I mean, you go to the doctor, you can have some doctors got just horrible you have a surgeon, horrible bedside manner. But you know something? If I want someone cutting on me, I want that guy.
Right.
Because I don't care how nice he is.
I think of my dentist that way.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So not a great bedside, but if you're going to do something, probably just soon have him.
Probably just soon have him doing it. Yeah.
Interesting.
So the challenge is, of course, for everyone to have a little bit of both. I tend to be a curmudgeon.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I agree.
You know, with me, you're going to get the straight story, but I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about this segment. We always do the real estate roundup. I'm kind of excited this week because we have the report back now from through the end of July. What the information is, and for the month of July, I'm going to go through county by county just for
I've got
kicks.
my county stuff up here, so start with Dakota if you could.
Well, no, we're going to go by alphabetical.
Alphabetical,
so we're going to do Anoka County.
All right, hold on.
So Anoka County, pending sales, the sales that pended in Anoka County for the month of July, 428 were pended in the month of. That's down 15.9%. The year-to-date number is down 19.5% for Anoka County. 2,600 properties pended in Anoka
Down
County.
19%.
Down 19%. Closed sales, closed transactions, so sold sometime earlier but happened to close in July, 409, down 25.6%. That's a big decrease in July. And the year-to-date number was 2,300 properties closed in Anoka County. Over the first year-to-date through in the July, down 21%. What's interesting now is median sale price. Median sale price up. July's median sale price $355,000 in Anoka County.
Mine says 366,725.
That might be it today, whatever you're looking at.
Yep.
So 30. This is end of July. 5th in July is 355, down 2.7%. But year to date, it was up 2.2%. So had a little bit of a dip in July. Let's move on to Carver County. I love Carver County. Lots of stuff going on in Carver County.
What would be a town in Anoka that you like? In each county, I'm curious of just a city that you kind of like.
How about Anoka?
Okay.
You know, that's a town up there where there's a lot of stuff going on. Carver County. So here you're looking at Chaska. You know, is probably a big one in Carver County.
Wow. Median home
Young
price
America.
shots.
Yeah, look at there. 487,450 in July was the median sale price.
Okay.
In Carver County, up 8.2%. A lot of new construction, I think, is skewing the numbers out there. The year-to-date median sale price 445, actually down a little bit, but July you see those new construction sales starting to close, and that's kicking that number up 8.2%. Closed sales, not much in July, 140, only 893. Now Carver County is a smaller county, big decrease, down 24% in July. So while new construction is still going out there, the existing sale number has just like disappeared.
Wow.
Out in Carver County. So
interesting.
Yeah, and now we can go look at your Dakota County. I know you're all excited about it.
Historical appreciation in Carver's like 6%. 5-year average was 6.7%. Does that sound about right?
So look at that. Okay, so now Dakota County. Dakota County had pending sales in July. 551 properties went pending in July. The closed sales 566. So again, they may have been sold in May, may have been sold in June, but they closed in July. That 566, that's down 17.7% in Dakota County. It's a big decrease. Year-to-date decrease in Dakota County is 21%. Closed sales are off 21%.
Wow.
Median sale price in July, $397.
Wow. Okay, that's
now I saw one that had the current median sale price as I go. These are, remember, end of July numbers. Now we're into August. Median sale price right now is over 400.
Mine says 421, 110.
Oh wow, that's high. Yeah.
And 5-year appreciation is just under 7%.
And right now the July appreciation, or that number is up. It was 3%. Actually down 0.7% year to date.
Interesting.
For median sale price now.
Median. Okay. Yeah.
All right. So days on market on all these markets are increasing too, and up 19% in Dakota County. So we're over a month now in Dakota County as the median days on market number. So that's pretty significant actually. Because we were gone from 12 hours on market,
right?
To now it's over a month, and it seems like that number is increasing as time goes on. Hennepin County, there we got our numbers there. 1,500 properties closed in Hennepin County. That's still down 20%, down 23% year to date. Wow. With 8,600 properties closed. So, huge.
So the last two counties, Keith, down significant.
Well, all of them are down in terms of the numbers.
But 20% last
20% is a big number. Yeah, to be down 23% year to date. Median sale price $385. That's still up 1.6% in July, flat for the year to date. But up in July, a little tick up there in July, which is good news. So this has an underlining question that's always asked is how can these volumes be down but we still have sale prices going up? We'll talk about that next segment. Closed sales in Ramsey County, that's down 17%.
Okay.
23% year to date.
Boy, every one, I'm curious, every one it almost seems like we're down 20%.
Pretty close. Yeah, pretty close, 20%. Days on market still is up again, 20% longer to sell the house, 20% higher days on market. 325 is the median sale price, one of the lower price points of any of the counties. That's up.
Why do you think that is? Just because it's St. Paul
Ramsey,
and stuff
older.
like that? Okay.
Yeah, lots of older, smaller houses. And finally, Scott County. We're going to blast through this one.
Not finally. We have Washington.
We have Washington. Scott County is down 21% in closed sales.
Okay.
Their median sale price in Scott County is high, $424. We'll finish up with Washington County when we come back just after the break. This is your Real Estate Chalk Talk. Good information here, what's going on the first half of the year in these various counties. The 7-county metropolitan area, that's the base that we always quote from every week. The 7-county metropolitan area. We're going to come back with Washington County right after these messages. Hey, welcome back to the program, and thanks for staying with us. Welcome back to the program. I kind of ran that one.
You did. That was awful, actually.
Welcome back to the program. Thanks for staying with us. This is your Real Estate Chalk Talk. 612-627-8000. 612-627-8000. HittnerGroup.com. HITTNER Group.com. Last segment, we went through 6 of the 7 counties. Kind of rushed through the last couple there a little bit.
I got some questions when you're done.
Okay, so now we're on Washington County.
Okay.
That's kind of where you hang out there, Calvin. Washington County, $407,000 is the median sale price for properties closed the month of July in Washington County. And Calvin's got a report that he's looking at that he uses on the mortgage side of things. His numbers are significantly different. These numbers that we're talking about here now came from the Minnesota Association of Realtors, and they are numbers extracted directly from our multiple listing service of the actual activity during the month. So they will vary. The closed sales, the numbers of closed sales, this is just shocking to me. It's been the same in every county that we've talked about, and I'll summarize when I'm done here, is closed sales down 22% in the month of July in Washington County.
What about year to date?
Year to date, down 25%.
Okay.
So
when you're ready for questions, let me ask you questions versus you summarize.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, 5-year appreciation in Washington County is 6.86%. So that's the average per year of appreciation. So not bad, right?
Right.
And it seems like the appreciation average runs between 6 and 7%. So not bad, right?
Not bad.
This year, every forecast, as we're running through this, they give us a forecast for this year, and it still has a positive appreciation in every county from anywhere from about 2.5% to 4%. So do you feel like that's an accurate number?
I do think that's an accurate number. What I'm reporting on here are properties that have actually closed.
Yep.
So that's going to be a different number than the house that's sitting out in the neighborhood that is not for sale.
Right.
And they're just imputing a value on that house.
Got it.
For the tax purposes or what have you, just for the general market information. But if you look at the actual data in Washington County of the medians, now we're talking about the median sale price here.
And
so
mine's $456.
Yeah, that's different than like the average sale price or this is what median is half the properties that sold for less than this number and half the properties sold over that number. Actual sales recorded in the multiple listing service. That number is down in Washington County 2.9%. Now that's not a reflection of value. That's a reflection of activity. This is the price point of the properties that are being sold and bought. It has nothing to do with the value.
Yeah. Median household income, Washington County, $100,069.
Household income.
Median household income. And national average is $55,698. So
think about that. I mean, if you have median transactions going on that are over $400,000, who's buying those houses?
Yep.
And
people above that number.
Yeah, people above that number, exactly.
I'm a pretty simple guy.
I know. I mean, you look at when we're building in Woodbury, for example. Dancing Waters, our builder built a lot of homes in that, actually quite a few neighborhoods in Woodbury. And I would drive by these houses, and at that point, this was many years ago.
Right.
There were $400,000 houses, and there were these big houses. Today they are $1 million.
Yep.
Right? And all those houses are $1 million. And you drive by those houses, and it's like, there's hot cycles, new cars, swing sets. It's like, who are these people that are buying these houses? And it's not like, every once in a while there's a house like that. There's a stat I just looked at this week. 1 in 9 homes in the country has a value of over $1 million.
1 in 9 homes value over $1
million. 11%.
Wow. Yeah.
1 in 9 over $1 million. Like, who's affording these houses? And it isn't in some of these neighborhoods. It's like streets after street after street of homes that are over $1 million.
Wow. So we went through first segment, every county, the 7-county metro, ended in Washington. Went through numbers fast. People come and go listening to the show. Give me a summary. Like, what are you seeing overall then on July and year to date in terms of homes for sale? Just give me like snapshot it.
Snapshot would be is
7-county metro.
7-county metro, pretty much true statewide as well. You are seeing very few people are selling because they want a new backyard. I mean, they're not doing that.
Okay.
Right? They're selling because they have to sell. So the people who are bringing the home on the market, either there's a divorce involved, there's a job transfer involved, there's a death in the family that has created a need for a move, an aging elderly parent, some family thing is going on there that says, this just doesn't work for us anymore, either because of size, configuration, or location. So those are the people that are putting their homes...
Size, configuration, location.
Or location.
I like that. That's excellent.
So those are the people who are putting their homes on the market.
Okay.
The dilemma that they have is now they have to buy something. And so there we have a market that is in conflict with itself because you've got a limited supply, which means the prices have an upward pressure on them, even moderate upward pressure, so 4% to 5%, which is a very normal appreciation, keeping pace with, in this Biden economy, it's not keeping pace with inflation, but it's trying. But appreciating value. And now you've got the buy side where you still have, you asked the question many times, well, how come there are still multiple offers? Well, when you've got increasing days on market, that tells me that there's not many multiple offers because you don't have days on market going up by 30 days over the course of a year and still having multiple offers. In some price points, in some areas with some home configurations, you've got multiple offers. But I was out looking at a house this week that was a house in Bloomington with a client, very specific because the house had been modified for handicap accessibility, had an elevator in it, it had tracks hanging from the ceilings to help people get to the bathroom and all that. I mean, that house is going to sit a while because there's very few people that are going to be able to come in and buy that house just to use. They have some major changes to be made, or it's going to become a group home for handicap. Not a bad idea there. But that house is going to have many days on market before it ultimately sells. And any kind of weirdness in a house at all is going to make that house sit.
You talk about upward pressure, but I'm curious on that because I'm seeing, I've got different searches all the time. I want to be on the market a little bit, and I'm seeing price reduction. Right. Is that because the real estate industry was over their, you always like this, they're
way
over their skis a little bit.
Yep.
Were they over their skis and they're coming just a little bit more upright to where the market is, or are people having to drop because the activity slowed down because people are seeing a 7.5% interest rate and they're just saying, pumping the brakes?
I think that's both. I think what happens is that you do a market analysis on a property. You look at what's available for sale. Let's just pick some mythical numbers now. So you got the house says it should sell for $400,000, which is the median sale price. So $400,000. This house should sell for $400,000. An agent who is not taking into account the movement of the market is going to say, well, let's put her on. I think we can get 420, maybe 425. You're not going to get 425. That's over your skis.
Okay.
That's assuming a market of 2 years ago, thinking that you're going to put it on the market on Friday afternoon and have multiple offers by Sunday night. That doesn't happen. That's how you get to that 425. But that activity isn't there because the buyer of that house, that $400,000 house, is coming out of a townhouse.
Okay.
And that property now is the first-time home buyer purchase. And they're looking at 8% interest rates or 7.5% or whatever the number is today. You'll tell us in the next couple segments. Whatever the number is, they're saying, whew, we're going to stay put. So they're not selling. So you just don't have, it's a snowball effect. So you just don't have that activity. But you still got construction going on. So the replacement costs of those houses just keep going up.
But, okay, so I see that. But at the same time, there's one home that, was on my search. I'm like, wow, that's a sharp home. One day.
Gone.
And your comment was, hey, if somebody wants to look at that house, they better look at it right away.
Right now.
Gone. But uniqueness of that property, right? Beautiful home, pool, tiki bar outside, all kind of a little different look, super cool. Is that why it's a day?
It maybe has the amenities.
Because it's not the walk-in.
Here's the truth. There may not be 30 buyers for that house like there was 2 years ago.
Okay.
But there's still 5.
Okay.
And those 5 want that house. Now, did they get into multiple offers on that house? I don't know. But one of them said, I'm going to buy that house. And so it went right away. But maybe not with multiple offers. It just sold quickly because there are still buyers out there in the marketplace
waiting for that
property. And in that price point, good odds are a lot of cash buyers in that price point or huge down payments. They're more sophisticated, not so interest rate sensitive. We'll talk more about that when we come back from break. This is Real Estate Chalk Talk. We'll be right back. Hey, welcome back to the program. This is Real Estate Chalk Talk. 612-627-8000. 612-627-8000. I just had to chuckle to myself.
Because of how well we plan?
Well, yeah. No, here's why. Now, listen to me, but don't listen to me is what I'm saying. I am a real estate expert. I mean, I am. I'm a real estate expert. I've been doing this for 35 years. I've sold 5,000 homes, over $1 billion of the real estate. If anyone's a real estate expert, I am. Okay. Now my segment is don't believe the experts. So it's so I'm a little conflicted with that. But here's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
You've got the talking heads, and I don't care what topic it is, Kelvin. They're rarely right. They're just so rarely correct that when they are right, it's so shocking that people then they write books, then they become famous because of, once one out of 1,000 they hit one. But I mean, just stop.
I've said enough stuff on this show that I bet I was right once.
I bet you were too.
I should. Trevor, let's get that queued up.
Yeah, we'll have to go through 16 years of audio to listen to find that one. Okay, so here's what I'm talking about.
All right.
And I don't care what it is. Global cooling. When I was in high school, we're all going to freeze.
Global cooling?
Global cooling was a thing. Yeah,
no,
my brother's
God, how old are you?
I love my brother, but he's kind of a whack job on some of this stuff.
Got it.
So he was a global cooling guy. Oh yeah, we're all
global cooling.
We're going to freeze to death. Everybody's going to freeze us, and then it became global warming. And we're all going to die, and then that didn't work out because the models proved to be wrong. So now it's climate change because it's basically they can't explain anything and everything's always changing. So they're bound to be right there. And now this week in the news, it was a record hottest month, hottest July on history, record temperatures. And they look and the last time it was even close to being this hot, it was 75 years ago. Blah blah blah. And we're up 1 degree.
1 degree.
Yeah,
75 years ago.
So is it a record? Yes, technically it's a record. Are we up 20 degrees? Are we cooking to death? No, it's 1 degree. And then they extrapolate. This is what kills me.
Yeah.
By 2050, we'll be at a temperature that's unsustainable.
Here's the thing I'm thinking. I'm adding 75 years to your age and then to mine. You're for sure not here.
I'm good.
And I'm
probably
not either.
Yeah. So, but my point is
my point is we just talked.
They're never wrong.
Yep.
I mean, they're never right.
They're never right.
They're never right. And you look at what's his name, Al Gore, who had the movie and all that stuff. And by now, according to his movie, we should all be ankle deep in water because the polar ice caps were all melted and everything was going to be underwater. Straight up, not even close. Dumb. And now we get to the financial markets, and it's like they're predicting the ups and downs of the financial markets, and then of course they're always wrong. And then what happens is the talking heads come on and they explain why they were wrong.
Yep.
And like we should listen to you now. You were wrong. Why would I be listening to you?
But we had that, right? So I touted May 10th, right? Because the talking heads in my industry said May 10, May 10, May 10, because they could look at the charts, look at this. May 10 came and went, and rates have gotten dramatically worse. And they're like, well, what we didn't anticipate was, and that's the thing. And there's an article, we'll talk about it next segment, but at the end it just basically says rates will keep going higher until they're done going higher.
Exactly.
I appreciate that, because just like we don't know for sure, because this is uncharted territory in our world with the fastest increase in mortgage rates in history. And we break through, here's a 20-year, 50-day average, 100-day average, 200-day. Now, we've broken through all of it. Now it's just free falling.
I'll give you another example, fun thing from yesterday. So yesterday I spent a couple hours fixing my water machine, that makes distilled water, my distiller. So it needed a new heating element. So I'm taking the thing all apart. And our tank has got a 10-gallon tank on it. It was empty. And so my grandson lives with us, and so he was all like, when's the water going to be done? When's that good water going to be done? And I said, well, it'll be done when the tank is full. Well, how long will that be? Well, it'll take until the machine shuts off, and then when it's shut off, the tank will be full. Well, how long will that take? It'll take as long as it takes. I don't know how long it'll take. Roughly, you're looking at tomorrow sometime. You're going to have nice, fresh distilled water. And I came out this morning, and there was, some
nice fresh distilled
water in there. But it takes as long as it takes.
What about in the real estate realm? What talking heads do you listen to? What are they saying versus what is today?
What I like to listen to, I listen to a couple of economists that I like, and there's a couple of national podcasts, real estate podcasts, quite a few of them that I check out virtually every day. I listen to Young, who's our chief economist for the National Association of Realtors. He tends to put a happy face on everything.
Okay.
So, he's speaking to his audience, which is real estate agents, and doesn't want to paint a gloom and doom kind of a thing. And then I listen to the head economist for Realtor.com, and it's like it's like two different people. So they're reporting on the same numbers, and generally have a similar maybe background noise to their conversation.
Okay.
But it's a different outcome. It's a different conversation. And then like many of our prognosticators, which I agree with actually, say, we're in for a very difficult 6 quarters in the real estate community. 6 quarters. So that means the second half of this year, which we're already, drilling into the fourth quarter, but the second half of this year and all of next year is going to be wicked in terms of from a real estate perspective, because high rates are going to maintain, low inventory is going to maintain. The builders are building as fast as they can, but as long as these high rates prevail, there's nothing going on out there that's going to change anything in people's behavior. So it's just going to kind of keep going on the way it is, which I'm okay with, to be honest with you, because we're coming into a market right now where it's just like I like to say, hurry up and slow down.
Okay.
So what that means to me is we're moving from a speed-based economy or speed-based market where it was the first one in. So a property would coming soon. You'd want to get that scheduled right away. You want to get in there. You come in there with the purchase agreement halfway filled out, so that when you're walking out the door, you just say sign here because I'm going to send it over. Because it was all speed based.
Yep.
We got an interesting story that you can tell next segment about someone who did a speed based purchase and got really brutally caught on that. Now we're coming into more my kind of a market where it's more of skill based market. More thoughtful about it, slow down, listen, pay attention, take time to go through a property if I'm working with a buyer, examine the property, make sure that all the major mechanicals, are at least fairly new or in good working order.
Right.
Check your disclosures. You really look at it. Slow down and be thoughtful about what you're buying. This is a major decision. And we've been through enough of them that we know the red flags, and we point out the red flags.
Yeah.
And the same thing on the listing side. It's like, go through your disclosure. I would rather disclose. People say, well, should I tell them about, fill in the blank? Yes, tell them about it. Yes.
The answer is yes.
The answer is yes.
Yeah.
Tell them about everything so that buyer who you don't know, working with an agent who you may or may not know and may or may not be competent. So you want those people to make an informed decision.
Right.
So that if something comes up, you can move that disclosure around and say, see this right here? I told you about that, seepage that came in that basement wall every time there was a heavy rain. I told you that that window leaked when there was a driving rain from the northwest. And and that's the way it is. We've tried fixing it, we caulk it and all that stuff, but it leaks. So that's the kind of thing that is more of a skill-based, the right information delivered at the right time, because you can't pour water out of an empty bottle.
So give me a summary on your listening to the experts, right? So listening to the experts. So what's your counsel then? You're an expert in real estate, but you're saying don't listen to you.
My counsel is...
We have national... So what is the counsel then?
First of all, don't let someone convince you of something that goes opposite to your own experience.
Say that again. Sorry.
Don't let someone convince you of something that goes opposite from your own experience.
Okay.
All right. You have people trying to make you believe things that you're not. You're experiencing quite something different than that. So trust yourself, I guess, and work with someone that you trust. That you trust is giving you good information that has your best interest at heart, and who is your partner in doing whatever it is that you're doing. Either if it's a personal function through church or through schools or clubs or whatever, or a major purchase like buying a home, buying a car or something like that. Work with people that you're confident in that have your best interest at heart. This is your Real Estate Chalk Talk, 612-627-8000. 612-627-8000. Go to HittnerGroup.com, HITTNER Group. That's all one word, HittnerGroup.com, and we'll be right back after these messages with the very exciting money segment of the program.
But we're going to wrap.
Money in the bank.
Rates are good. Pretty exciting.
You know why? Why?
Free money. You understand what I'm saying?
Hey, welcome back to the program. This is the only place in the United States right now where you can get free money.
Free money.
Free money. That's what it said in your intro there.
It does. Yep. It does.
Great rates and free money.
Yeah. So we got to probably recut the entrance.
Okay.
Right? That'd probably be great. So another great week in the markets. So let's just touch on things. I got so much stuff today. I'm trying to think how do we do it? So we'll go. Let's start with rates are high. Went up again.
Okay.
Don't listen to the experts because they all keep saying it's coming down.
Yep.
I think our experience is it will come down when it comes down. And we think that will be sometime soon.
I like what you said at coffee. Rates are high, just a little bit higher than yesterday.
Yep. Yeah, the headline here, I'll go to that headline. This is great, right? It says, yes, mortgage rates are now at the highest in more than 20 years, but not much higher than yesterday.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
A little bit higher.
Yeah.
So right now, I mean, we were working with a mutual client yesterday, and we're quoting out 7.375, 7.5. That's 30-year fixed money. It's in that range. I can't say specific because then you have to give an APR, blah, blah, blah. So rates are kind of mid sevens. So have that low to mid sevens right now. And I'll tell you, that's also paying a 1% discount typically.
Adjustables any better?
No,
oh.
Not at all. So it's really tough to find. I mean, just money's expensive right now. So one of the things we talked about yesterday, and I'm just going to blow through a bunch of stuff, was just we did a 2-1 buy down for these folks just because there's like, God, we have you got to find out what drives the person.
And explain
right?
to the listener what a 2-1 buy
trying
down
to.
is. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. What is a 2-1 buy down?
2-1 buy down is starting, let's say the rate is 7.5. We're going to start 2% lower, so 5.5.
Okay.
Next year 6.5, and then 7.5.
Okay.
Right. So 2-1, start 2% lower, goes up 1% each year.
Okay, 1% each year.
So we looked at it because these folks had cash, but they wanted a lower monthly nut.
Okay.
Some people will take the higher monthly because they don't have as much cash. So you got to kind of balance it out. So they said, what's it look like? How can you help us get into this property? It's a property in Farmington these folks are really interested in. The price point's beyond where they want to be by about 30, 470 is where they want to be. This is running close to 5, so of course, because you're a realtor, you always oversell people.
Yeah. We want them to pay 5 1/4.
Yeah, that's great. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But so we did the 2-1 buy down, and we're saving them, really, really good money, right out of the gate. So we're saving them, what was it, 500
and something.
500 a month right out of the gate. So it was a way for them to get in, feel comfortable, knowing that and hoping that the market will shift. And we believe the market's going to shift. It's just the when is a tough deal because everybody, that's a moving target. And then everybody looks backwards and says, oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Well, when you're coming to me for counsel on that, let's make a sound financial decision based on what you're doing now. And then we know rates will come down. It's just, I don't think it's going to be, quite honestly, I don't even think it's going to be Q1 of next year anymore. No. I think we're looking Q2, Q3.
Well, they're talking about in the October, November that the Fed is going to raise rates again.
12% chance is the article that I read this morning on that when I was preparing for our segment prior to our segment.
Okay.
So it may come, but we'll see.
We'll see. The experts say.
The experts say. So 2-1 buy downs. Here's the other thing that is interesting to me. So there's an article, the Kiplinger letter I send out quite a bit, just came out this morning, was reading that. And it's amazing. We're dealing with inflation here, and the problem with why rates are going up, they're trying to slow down inflation. And they're like, inflation isn't slowing down. And they said before we're going to feel comfortable, they have to see job growth decline. Well, those are all negative things, right?
Yes.
But then I'm reading this, and it goes through, and it says in China what's going on. Well, in China, same thing. Pressure to step up more monetary and fiscal support. Government won't rush into this. Going into the same thing, that they're dealing with the same thing, inflation. It's crazy how it's worldwide.
Right. Well, I read that China is actually coming into a period where they're worried about deflation. Because some inflation is always positive.
Yeah.
Because that's a signal of a growing economy.
Well, it says right here, Keith, consumer prices in China are declining as economic growth falters. Consumer price inflation finally slipped into negative territory in July, following 10 consecutive months of decline for producer prices.
So there's a fine line when the Fed is dinking around with rates and stuff, trying to crash the economy or slow they may succeed, and if they succeed, that's not a pretty picture,
right?
At all. So, I just think it's an asinine way to go about it.
Yeah, I understand that. And then I was talking with my business partner who's from Canada, and we were talking about their economy because he was up there. Yep, same thing. Inventory's low. It's like inventory's low everywhere. Rates are high everywhere. It's like this whole global thing.
So why don't we address that part?
Yeah.
Why is inventory low? Let's address that.
So it's just interesting what's happening. And then, so rates. So wrap up on rates. Rates are high. They're going to stay this way for a little bit, and there's strategies we can take to put you in a good financial position, even in the midst of, right?
You and I ran those numbers on the 2-1 buy down this morning, and they get their money back in
about 7 months.
In about 7 months. Yep. Okay, so from months 8 on, they're ahead of the game.
Yep.
And we don't think that rates are going to come down significantly for a year and a half. So so for a year and a half they're out ahead of the game. Then when rates do come down, what are they going to come down to?
Yeah, and where do you pull the trigger?
Where do you pull the trigger, and how do you balance that?
Yeah, our monthly savings 523 year one, second year 267. So up a month, and that's significant. So we have ways to still make it affordable and palatable. And then to shift gears, completely different.
Okay.
Watching some stuff on the border, right? And the Mexican border, and just how it's just basically an open highway.
Right.
Okay. So I'm thinking about that, and then the same thing. And then this week, my oldest son has an opportunity to go play basketball over in Spain, potentially, right? So, and they say, here's the things we need to come into our country and work.
Mm-hmm.
He's at the FBI office in Minneapolis. He's at the Spanish. Did you know there's a Spanish consulate in Minneapolis? Me neither, but there is. Right? Diploma, all of his grades. He needed an official transcript, had to be sent. Passport, every page, right? Criminal background check, everything, health disclosures. All this stuff has to be done
To get
before
into
you
Spain.
can get into Spain. To go, I thought, grab your tennis shoes and go.
Mm-hmm.
Find the gym.
Right.
Right? No, not at all. It's amazing. I'm like, wow, huh? But yet we have an open border.
Right.
People
are flooding in. You don't know who they are.
No.
Or what, and they have no qualifications at all.
It's just crazy. And they're checking his grades.
Yeah.
They're checking. We had to send a copy of his diploma that he graduated. Right. I mean, just like, wow. It's like, wow, we didn't realize any of this stuff. So it's just.
And he's playing basketball.
And he's playing basketball.
Yeah, it's like, we don't want any dumb kids playing basketball out there. You got to have a college degree and good grades.
Jeez,
to shoot hoops.
So it's so it was pretty interesting on that front, and we'll see what happens there. But just interesting how there's our worlds are just so very different here in the U.S. versus overseas, and what we allow and what we don't allow, and all that stuff melds together and creating this economy that we have, and we'll just kind of see how it plays out. I liked your piece earlier on don't listen to the experts, and base it on your own experience. I think people have to do that, have somebody they trust that they work with that does an actual full analysis of what makes the most sense.
And then present it and have a conversation about it.
Right.
Because just doing something and then shipping it over, is quite different than actually eyeball to eyeball.
Yep.
Let's talk this through to make sure that you're clear about what's going to happen here.
Yeah. And it's actually, we were so heavy Zoom, for a while that God just hated it.
I hated it too.
Do I slip my wrist, right? Now we got away from it and you're meeting people again, which is great. And now we're actually trying to do the same thing. Like, hey, can you just jump on a Zoom call real quick and let's go through this, and you share your document.
Yeah.
The more and just kind of go through the stuff versus just sending it and saying, hey, if you have any questions, let me know.
Right.
Because nobody does, and then we get busy.
And the Zoom thing has gotten normalized. People are less scared about it, and they're more natural on it. I watch Sheila, my wife, is on Zoom meetings a couple times a day. So last night she's got people. There's people from Canada, people from Florida, people from Ohio, India, Idaho. I mean, just all over the country, and they're having a conversation. She's got 12 things up on the screens, faces up on the thing.
Right.
And I'm listening to it, and it's like they could be in the other room talking.
Interesting.
Because they're just talking.
Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
So the point of all that is, right, have a conversation.
Have a conversation.
Work with people you trust. Rates are okay. They're higher, but we have strategies, and let's have a conversation, right? That's been the mantra for 20 years.
Yes.
Which has also helped set us apart. So give me a call, 651-231-2500, and we'll get you in good shape. So 651-231-2500.
Thanks for listening. This has been your Real Estate Chalk Talk. HittnerGroup.com, HITTNER Group. That's all one word. HittnerGroup.com. 612-627-8000 is the number to call if you would like to have a conversation about getting your home on the market.